When your timing chain needs its air conditioning repaired, bring your car to Heritage Auto Repair, the finest auto repair on South Fork Creek Road. Have you recently left a plant-based cult and are starved for protein? If so, head on over to Showalter Meats. Showalter Meats on Sloan Fork Road. Be there. Are you looking for the best meats in Casey County? If so, make sure you head over to Showalter Meats. Showalter Meats, let's meet up. This message not necessarily brought to you by Spray Foam Thermtech Solutions of Casey County or something.
Because your people get a hold of me and agree that you lied and thought you had control of the outlaw. You thought you had yourself a thug. You thought you all could send me to hurt people or do whatever. Buggy ride. And then she laughed and Tice approached me again. Said, "Oh, you can run right through Hit Boy. How much would it take to break? How much would it take to..." Yeah. And then, after he told me his plans was marry Stephanie, then he wanted to know how much it'd take to get rid of Jeffrey.
Okay, so for starters, the footage you're seeing here, this is from Friday, May 16th, 2025. It's a severe thunderstorm that was taking place that actually included at least one tornado that swept through several counties to the south of us. And this was probably the moment that the tornado was going through that area 20 miles south of us. And I guess, maybe 20 or more people lost their lives. I don't subscribe to news channels, so I don't, I'm usually out of the loop on that stuff to some degree. But that's what it looked like from, out here in, what is this? Eastern Casey County, far eastern Casey County. Looking toward like Somerset, Kentucky, and all that. That's also the 1 year. That night was the 1 year anniversary of Solomon Hirschberger's death. So that was kind of eerie, because that was a pretty nasty storm. But let's talk about today. And I'm still processing what happened. I found out a couple hours ago that Stephen Henson lost his channel, and it's weird. It's I can't explain this, and I don't understand it, but I'm not ready for him to go. I don't like most of what he did. I didn't dislike all of what he did, and he did some very hurtful things to me and my son. He said some things that I know are not true because they weren't true about me, like some really mean things. Now, there were some things said that have come out to some degree. They're out because they're in the beginning of this video. I've got a couple of clips of him speaking, and I'm not one of those people that says the enemy of my enemy is therefore my friend. I know how that works, and I'm not. History can make fools of people, and if you study history enough, you know that doesn't always work out. So it's not about that. My position really hasn't changed that much. But I have to say, Stephen, for whatever reason, Stephen's been very nice to me lately. And he may be afraid. For all I know. I don't know. Steve, I'm not trying to badmouth you. I'm just trying to be honest. That's generally, that's the approach. I like the direct approach. So I'm just sitting here trying to process all this. And you can consider this as an attempt to fill some dead space. Yeah, I guess you could say my mind's all over the place at the moment. I've been up here, what is this, the fifth day? 4.5 day. Yeah, it's been really good. I don't know. I need to go and look at my notes of what I've done so far. But I can tell you that on Sunday, I went to 2 different churches. I was actually on my way to a specific church about, 10 miles from here or whatever, from where I'm staying. And I passed this road, and I thought, I need to go up that road. I turned around, went up there, and I stopped at South Fork South Fork Creek Separate Baptist, and that's a place I'd never been down that road before. I'd certainly never been in that church, but I walked in, and right off the bat, a lady looked up at me and she goes, "Well, I know you." And I said, "Well, you look familiar, but I can't think of where I know you from." And she said, "Nita Henson." And I went over and shook her hand, and I tell you what, I felt pretty bad. Because through all this thing, you lose your patience and you get your feelings hurt and things are said, things get out of control. And, in the end, I could have handled it better. But, she's a nice lady, and I don't know what else to say. She was nice and she didn't have to be. So, I wasn't even sure why I went up there. It's just one of those things. I just went up there. Okay, people, it's about to get really interesting. The footage you're about to see is footage I shot on the afternoon of Tuesday, May 20th. What's happening is Titus, I'm walking down Henson Creek Road, okay? And Titus invites me to come to a Bible study beside the creek, and I declined. And he says the words, "I cut it out and burned it." I'll get to that in a minute. It's important for you to go and look up this video. I can't put up the clip of this video like I used to do because they'll copyright strike me. Now, I should, under fair use, I should be able to go and put this up without fear of copyright strike. But unfortunately, with the way YouTube operates, it's not feasible right now. I don't know how to get around this because I should not be struck for doing a fair use clip type of thing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not immoral. It's not illegal. But it is what it is right now. Anyway, go to the 1344 mark of the video Y2, Q2, Lesson 1, Day 5, Joash Perseverance. And just to clarify, that is on the Titus Moore's Sinister of the Gospel YouTube channel. Wink, wink. So go and look that up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. At the 1344 mark, Titus, he's showing his Bible. This is the Bible that he carries around with him everywhere he goes. You notice that he carries that leather satchel, okay? And the Bible goes in there. There's a cover on there, and all you see is it's like cardboard colored. The Bible is cardboard colored, and it's written Holy Bible on it. Holy Bible's written on it in this kind of strange script. And I've always noticed it, and it's always seemed really strange to me, like it unsettlingly strange, for lack of a better term. And if you take the cover off, which he does in the video, you'll see that this is a witchcraft Bible. This is it's marked with a satanic mark. It has a pentagram on it. It's actually an Order of the Eastern Star Masonic Bible. I'm not making this up. Go look up his video before they take it down and before they change it. There's a reason it's up. I don't fully understand it. They're playing some sort of game. I don't know if this is part of the witchcraft. I don't know. But folks, I do believe, and I've seen fruit of this before, and there's things I can't talk about on YouTube, so to speak. But I do believe I've seen fruit of witchcraft down there before in so many ways. But this is very direct, and it's exposed witchcraft. Go look at the Bible. It's an Order of the Eastern Star Bible. It's got a pentagram on the cover. They discuss how he got this Bible 7 or 8 years ago. This would have been about the time that Titus and Stephanie met. And Stephanie in the video is smirking. She's just smirking real big. Really witchy stuff, in my humble opinion. You're welcome to disagree, but use your discernment. But certainly don't take my word for it. Please go watch the video and decide for yourself and use your own discernment. You cut it out and burned it.
Yeah. I didn't know it was there. Like, I covered it up with that cover, and I didn't think about it being there, but when I uncovered it, I thought, oh, I better do something about that, and I cut it out and burned it.
But you let it be there for 8 years?
I just covered it up and forgot about it. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, sure. Pretty witchy there, Titus. It's pretty witchy.
What's the question?
It's pretty witchy.
No.
Absolutely. The following two graphics were created by one of my subscribers who, at this time, wishes to remain anonymous. So I want to give you some context on the footage you're about to see. I was walking my dogs down South Fork Creek Road on Saturday evening, and I had lost one of my wireless microphones, and those are very expensive. And I was actually walking, filming, and Titus was following me around on his horse. I don't know for what purpose, but so I just started filming. And I eventually found my microphone. I had to go get a flashlight. But yeah, that's what was going on here. If you see my eyes going up and down, I'm trying to find that microphone. So I'd like to know, was any of the money that you took from the GoFundMe used to build this house on Connie Bright's land?
The answer is no.
Because you're such an honest, upright individual that doesn't defraud people, that doesn't wish murder on your neighbors and steal their wives, children. Yep.
Aaron,
Titus?
GoFundMe did an audit.
Okay.
There's receipts.
All right.
So if you want to come to my porch, I'll get out some receipts and show you some receipts.
Yeah, is God going to have is God going to curse me for cursing your ministry, Titus?
You can't curse my ministry.
Oh, why is that? Were you commissioned by the Lord Jesus Christ, Titus?
So
were you commissioned by the Lord
Okay,
Jesus Christ? Were you commissioned by the Lord Jesus Christ? Yes or no? Were you?
You cannot curse what God has blessed.
Were you commissioned by the Lord Jesus Christ?
You cannot curse what God has blessed.
Were you commissioned by the Lord Jesus Christ?
I cannot bless what God has cursed.
Okay. I'm asking you a question. Were you commissioned by the Lord Jesus Christ?
Why are you asking that question?
Because it's on your business card.
I don't have a business card.
Okay. Well, it's on your card.
Okay, that's a
Okay.
ministry card.
Okay, fine. Were you commissioned by the Lord Jesus Christ?
Yes.
When did that happen? What's the commission date, Titus?
I'm not sure why you would, everyone who is...
Because it's a lie, that's
Okay.
why.
Everyone who's born again is commissioned to share the gospel in some form or another. So preach the gospel every day, and if necessary, use words.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a Christian, you're commissioned to share the gospel. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have to preach, but if you're honest and you mow a yard for somebody, you're kind to them, you're honest to them, you're preaching the gospel. You're doing something in favor of the gospel. So if I'm living in sin, that disqualifies me from sharing the gospel.
So are all Christians ministers of the gospel?
Minister means servant.
Okay.
So, yes, in some capacity or another. So there was women that followed Jesus, and they cooked meals for him, they made sure he had water. It says they ministered to him. That means servant. They served him. So they were ministers in the sense that they served. So it's not always necessary. The Bible speaks of the foolishness of preaching. You know, words are cheap. Actions are what speak loud.
Isn't that right? Yeah, that's good, Titus. Yeah. Titus, you're not above reproach. You're not beyond reproach. So
Are you?
I'm not a self-proclaimed minister of the gospel who's got a false prophet ministry. So two different things, Titus.
It will continue.
Did you want to marry context?
Never.
I don't think you're telling the truth, Titus.
I have never wanted to marry a little girl. Ever.
You wanted to marry her when... I know what you are. Okay. Well,
So
you also lied about not breaking the no contact order because you said you were trying not to break the no contact order. Then you admitted to breaking the no contact order in court. So you can't have it both ways. You know, you're a proven liar, Titus. You've lied about a bunch of stuff. I don't think it's going to go well for you, Titus.